everyone, I'm Molly. This is Bun in the Oven, a weekly video series where I'm going to make a new type of bread for every week of my pregnancy. Today is week 12, and we're going to be making dinner rolls. Okay, and the ingredients are 2 cups of warm milk, 2 tablespoons of instant dry yeast, 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 6 tablespoons of salted, softened butter, 2 large eggs, 6 cups of all-purpose flour, and 1 tablespoon of melted butter. Okay, so first things first, we have to start developing the yeast and getting some wet ingredients together before we add our flour. So I'm going to put the warm milk into a stand mixer. With the sugar, yeast. Oh, the sugar is still some in there. I'm going to get the rest of that. I'm going to use the paddle mixer to start. It's just going to do it better than the dough hook can do these wet ingredients at first. So I'm going to start this on real low just to start incorporating everything. Then I'm going to add some butter. And 1 egg at a time. So for the rest of this recipe, you're going to need a dough hook, a spatula. This is just for, this is not for measuring, it's just for putting the flour into the mixture once that's ready. I'm going to use this to separate some even rolls once I'm ready to do that after its first rise. This bowl is oiled for me to put the dough in once we've incorporated all of this flour, and then plastic wrap to put on top. So I'm going to put the salt, even though the recipe recommends putting in the salt now, I'm going to put the salt in the flour first and incorporate that. I've just always seen it done that way when I've been making bread elsewhere, so I'm going to go ahead and adapt that. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna trust all of the other recipes I've seen. So this is just so the yeast doesn't interact with too much salt at a time and inhibit the development. Still kind of chunky, but I think I'm just going to start going with it. So now that everything else has been incorporated, I'm going to turn it back on low. Ugh. Okay. And I'm actually, should have scraped down with the paddle mixer first, but I'm just going to do it this way. You may see some unorthodox baking techniques in this show, folks. And I'm going to add just basically a little less than a cup of the flour at a time, hoping to God that it doesn't fly out at me as it often does. So far so good. It smells yeasty, which is good because I didn't really wait to see if it was going to bubble up like everybody says to. But it was a brand new pack, so I kind of put my faith in Fred Meyer. Eventually I'm going to need to go to the dough hook, but I do like how much quicker it gets incorporated with the paddle. The dough hook is so funky shaped. So I just scraped down the sides here so we can get a nice even mix and I'm not missing anything too much. Okay, I'm gonna keep going with the paddle for now. Once it starts to come together, I should save like a ½ cup of flour and work that in really slowly. Ooh. Here it comes. I think I might maybe need to start to do the dough hook now. Okay. You could probably do a dough hook for the whole thing. It just might take a little longer at first to get those first ingredients in. I saw in the recipe that this is a good base dough for cinnamon rolls. So if you want to use this and then just, instead of making it into dinner rolls, roll it out and put some cinnamon sugar and butter in it, and then roll it up and cut it. We're getting to the point where it's going to take a little bit longer for the flour to incorporate. It's pretty strong flour. It's bread flour, so it should have a lot of room to go as far as absorbing water. But I'm not going to take it away from the dough hook. But I am going to tip it this way so you guys can see the consistency already. Ooh! Now it's becoming unpredictable because, ooh! Because these like little arms of dough will get flung off and slap some flour. You can hear it working harder. Oh, what just happened? Oh, it got a little, I think it reduced the tension because some flour got in between some layers. So once I add this last little bit, we should see all of the dough pull away from the sides, and it's all going to be on that dough hook. See how it's still sticking to the bottom? So hopefully, let's see. There it goes. Oh gosh. Okay, I think we're good. It is already starting to pull away. Ooh, are we gonna get it, GoPro? Yeah, GoPro got it. Kinda. Sorta. Getting it. There's still some right there. Yeah, GoPro. It looks great. Looks like what we're looking for. So turn it off, do some scraping, check it out. Big cameras. It's soft. It sticks, but not too much to my fingers, which is nice. I just want to make sure that whatever's on the bottom here gets incorporated. So cool. I love when you're like making dough and it gets to be its own like entity. It like has its own life and it moves on its own. It's so cool. Whoa, that's not what I meant. Okay. It's so soft. It's very soft. Feels great. Alright. I think it's fine. I think we're ready to go into the bowl here. A little oil in there so I could put it down like that. And then flip it over and the top would get some oil. So it doesn't dry out too much. I'm just going to leave it at room temperature for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Well, maybe not. Yes. Boom. Six by 4 is 24. Okay, everybody, we're back. It has not quite been 2 hours, but we're rolling with it because we got something to do at 7:30. I am about to tip out the dough onto my floured work surface, and then I'm going to cut the dough into 24 as equal as possible pieces. I'm not weighing it because I'm lazy. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to. It'll take more time. And then I'm going to shape them into rolls, and then I'm going to put them in this greased baking pan, and then we're going to let them rise again. Okay, so I'm about to tip out my dough. I'm going to do it without knocking as much air out. Well, maybe not, because I think I'm just going to knock the air out anyway. That's what the next step of the recipe is. Look at how cleanly that comes out. Woo! Oh, I'd already lost a bunch of that air. So now I don't really know what I'm doing here, so just knock out the air, it said. And then maybe I fold it in on itself a couple of times. I don't want to do it too much. Not this ball. And I'm just going to try to have that, and then I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to have those. And hopefully I'll eventually end up with 24 little balls. Okay, so 2. So yeah, this part is just about trying to make them as even as possible. And like I said, you could definitely measure them with like a scale and make them perfect, but I'm just not going to. Now we can get through with one cut. That's nice. So I watched some videos on, I don't know, I think it was Saturday, one of the days over the weekend, when we decided we were going to do this, to try to figure out like how to make the rolls, how to shape them. So I'm just going to use that technique. It's kind of like a fold under the bottom and pinch so that you have a really nice dome on the top and all of your folds are on the bottom, which you're just going to put in the baking pan anyway. They're not going to be the same size. Okay, now I have to half each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I only need, no, and then I need 8 more. We might have 32. Oh, it's alright. Let's see. Let's just do it because I've already started. No going back now. Oh, woof. Totally different sizes. Oh well. This is a learning experience. This is a learning show, folks. This is not a professional show. Huh?
I would eat that.
You would eat that size? Alright. We could keep them this size.
I would eat the bigger size here.
Those would be huge. Like, these are going to be probably double again.
Yeah.
Which, again, like you said, is not terrible. But that would be like having a whole loaf of bread to yourself.
A giant loaf, like in an anime movie or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like Totoro.
Yeah, yeah. Or like a bread bowl you get from Panera. There are lots of bubbles. I think that I didn't knock enough out. Should have watched some videos on that. Watch, we're gonna look back and see that I just totally missed having one of the whole loaves. So, like, some of these are just gonna be actually just twice as big. Okay, so now I'm gonna start shaping them, and the way they were saying to do it is kind of just like, I don't know if like you guys can see this. Pinch the bottom with the bottom of your like flat, like V hands. So I'm like trying to bring all of this dough here at the bottom together and like tuck it in with the crease of my hand. And so now there's like a little roll. I'm gonna place it right there. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this guy. They're so different sizes. They're gonna be vastly different. It's gonna come out looking like a dinosaur's back. I think I'm pinching a little too much. I'm like pinching some dough off. So I'm gonna try to adjust how I'm doing this and kind of be a little bit more gentle with how I'm doing it. Like you can just see how different they are. Oh well. Just knocking out some of these air bubbles because I know they're not supposed to be there. I didn't knock enough air out of when I first tipped it in. So here I have my pan of prepared rolls, perfectly even in size. No, I'm just kidding, they're not. Now they're going to prove for another 90 minutes to let them rise up again. They will come together more. When we take them out, they should just be like a big thing where you kind of have to rip one off of the other ones. Like a big loaf that has like bumps on it. So yeah, in 90 minutes we will come back and see you guys, and what we're really just doing is putting them in the oven for about 15 minutes. Or actually I think it's 12, I'll have to check the recipe. And then we'll be good. And we're ready to eat. All right, here are the proved dinner rolls ready to go into the oven. They're gonna go in at 375. I put them in for 13 minutes, though I regret that, and melt some butter to spread on top for when they're done. Here they are, undone, but I'm gonna take them out anyway. So I put some butter on top before I know what's happening, and then I try to sneakily unpan them before Dan can get the camera over. But here he catches me, and I know they're bad, and I'm sensing failure. And we learn every time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hope you liked our video. Tune in next week.